Hello guys, today we're playing a little bit with the Glock, fitting a new trigger, which means dismantling most of its internals. And this trigger, I'll put a link in the description, I bought from the States. I wanted a gold with the red safety. There are some places there where you can find it in the UK, but they're all out of stock, so I bought from the US. And this trigger needs to be pre-assembled because they also send you a black and a gold safety for you to choose which one you want. I'll insert the clip here somewhere of me assembling it, which basically is you put a spring under the safety and you put the screw through it. There's another screw here which is for the trigger bar, and then there's this screw which I assume is the stop for the trigger bar, because the trigger bar will go in there. But I never had to disassemble this much on the Glock, but we'll figure it out. Also, I'm sure you can see that there's no outer barrel on this because mine cracked. I did eventually get this one because I wanted a gold outer barrel to match the trigger, but as you can see, the colors not only the colors not really a match. This is way too tight inside the slide, and I obviously cannot use this one. Just for you to see how it looks like, I did put the outer barrel in there. It looks nice because it kind of protrudes a little bit out of the front. I really like that, but you need a lot of force to rack it, and it doesn't fully come forward unless you push it forward, and obviously that's not ideal. So I'm either gonna have to send that back or modify it in some way to make it fit. I haven't decided yet what to do with this, but I do like how it looks like this. Okay, let's go then. First, there's 2 punches to get out, to push out. The slide lock will need to be pushed out as well. The hammer housing needs to come out. Basically all of these internal bits need to come out. So yeah, I'm gonna start with the punches and the slide lock, and we'll go from there, because like I said, I honestly have never disassembled this much, so hopefully everything will go fine. We hope so. I'll need to put something under here to try and get this out. I don't even know if there's a side which you should be pushing this out. I think they come out towards the right side, and I think this one is actually ridged. I'm gonna use my case because of the soft padding inside to try to tap it out. So yeah, I was right. They do come out towards the right hand side of the gun, but as I mentioned, this side here has like a rough side on it to lock it in place. That's why it wasn't that easy to come out. But if you have something heavier, use something heavier. I didn't think I would need the hammer, but yeah, with the hammer it's a lot easier to get the punch out. So I'm gonna leave them halfway out, and I'm gonna take, there's a screw right here, and this one right here that we need to remove. But actually no, I'm gonna take the slide catch first and then the screws. So for the slide catch, there's a spring in here that you push on it, and then the slide should push to one of the sides. If only it was that easy. Yeah. So you push it down on the spring and then out one of the sides. And the slide catch is a bit slanted. Don't know if you can actually see it. The slant side goes towards the front. So put this to the side, and now we can remove these screws. One in the front. And one in the rear, which is smaller. When you lift the hammer house, be careful because there's a spring here on the side, and you also need to be careful with this spring right here on the trigger bar. Don't lose any of those springs because you'll need them for it to operate correctly. So now need to fully remove the pin, which I haven't yet. Yeah, so fully remove the pin, and now when you lift this, be careful with the spring. There's a spring right there. And for the trigger bar, you rotate the hammer housing and remove it, and as I said, careful, don't lose that spring. So I'm gonna set it here to the side. The spring just shut off, which I'm gonna have to find in a bit. So now fully remove the main pin. And now be careful with this here, because you remove the pin, this will want to fall off. You just slide it back. Careful because there's a spring on it as well. And now we should be able to lift this. Let's see. Yeah. So the whole assembly comes off, and what we'll need is this part right here, because we're gonna, on the standard trigger, you just need to punch it out, and then you have to use the screw provided with the new trigger to screw through the trigger bar. Okay, so as I said, the punch for the trigger bar is the top one, the bottom one is for the trigger safety. So you push this out and the trigger bar just pulls out. I'm gonna keep this pin in the trigger, not that I need it. Now comparing the triggers, yeah, they do look similar size, so hopefully shouldn't be a problem fitting it. The screw size on this, it's actually very weird. It's a 0.9 Allen. Luckily I've got this kit here which actually has this size, but it is, I mean, a very small size. So again, trigger bar goes in the trigger same way, and you're gonna have to align the hole and put the screw through it. Actually, I'm going to put the screw first on this. I'm going to start threading it in, and there's a gap here which you can see when the screw comes through. There it is. So now I can put the trigger bar there. Can put the trigger bar in there and screw it the rest of the way. It's actually not that easy one-handed, but it's possible. The little spring that we're pressing to remove the slide lock, it'll be flopping around here in the bottom. Make sure it's sitting flat like that before you put it in the frame. And there's also a little spring that you'll need. The way I'm gonna, that goes on the trigger bar, but the way I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna put the spring here, put inside there, and then put on the trigger bar. And always make note how the spring was oriented. So the spring is not there, and I'm gonna slide this in. Yeah, like I said, make sure this is sitting flat because that was catching somewhere. Yeah, so let me try to do it sideways. Yeah, it's now in. The spring is right there. So now we're gonna put the trigger inside here. No, actually the trigger goes, yeah, the trigger goes underneath. No, so maybe we need to do it. You need to put it in all together. Which is not going to be the easiest thing, but we're going to have to figure it out. So try to put the thing flat underneath and then the trigger in place, yeah, like so. And now we're going to have to drop it in here. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing, because this is a bit fiddly here. Feed the trigger through there and try to align everything. This needs to be pushed down a little bit. Oh, it's the trigger catching there. What's catching? Something ain't right. It's the little spring, yeah, there. So now it's fully seated. Before we do anything else, I'm gonna put that screw there. Because I don't want this coming loose and losing a spring or something. So there. Make sure it's aligned too. Yeah. I wasn't sure if it was aligned and I was just trying to put the screw on. So yeah, one thing I recommend, mine's not, but use something with a magnetic tip. So yeah, as you can see there, looking all right. So hopefully that triggers. Oh, I know why. Yeah, so hopefully it's adjustable through here, because I don't want to disassemble all this to adjust that little screw. But yeah, we'll see. We're gonna have to put it together and then we'll see how it goes. So now this slide release is held by this pin also. So what I'm gonna do is put it through here, which goes through the trigger, but don't push it fully, because the slide catch will go. You put the spring right there, you hold it together, and there's a space between the trigger and the frame, and you're gonna have to slide it through there. And we'll see if we can do it this first time. Yeah, it's there, the spring is there. So now while you push on the pin, you're gonna have to try to align the hole on that other side. Which again, it's a bit fiddly. I can actually see it there, but everything is not aligned. So let me see. Yep, it went through. Yep, all the way through. That's working fine. Just this trigger is not working because of that screw. So we're gonna have to screw it further in, which means we're gonna have to take it out, because there's no movement on this bar whatsoever. So we're gonna have to take this out and adjust that screw and then put it back together. The adjustment screw, I put it all the way in. Now the little spring that flew off, I found it, so you just put it back. And again, be careful. Yeah, so it's in. So now we need to put the bar here. Rotate it in place and drop it in. There. So now pin through here, went in just fine. And the screw at the top. So now last thing, slide catch. Don't forget, slanted part forward, slide it in, push the little spring down, and push it all the way in. Looking through this now, looks like the screw could be a bit further out, but it's not fully working. Check it with the slide. Yeah. Sweet. And it does look alright in the black gun. I wish we had a golden outer barrel as well, but we'll try to find it. So yeah, I'm very pleased with this. This was meant to be just a trigger upgrade video, but I got a little bit carried away because the trigger didn't match with anything. So I got the pins. As I mentioned before, the top one is just a fake pin, so you need to push it out from the inside. This big one is the pin that holds the trigger and everything else in place, including the slide release, which is now extended and in red. There's this pin here that you can barely see now. That's gold as well. It was a set. The only thing I don't really like about this particular pin, it's because it's a little bit shorter than the stock one, but it does all the ammo assemblies just fine. I also have an adapter in red, which means I can run silencer, tracer, or whatever, which I'm not looking to do that. And now I'm looking for a gold slide takedown lever, which can't find anywhere. I don't know if I should change this to like mimic a gold color, because it can be all red, can be all gold. And also I'm debating putting a red magwell here to go with everything else. So yeah, like I said, I got a little bit carried away. Just to end this video, I'm just gonna run through all the upgrades, all the modifications I've done to this gun. I'm gonna start with the first one I ever done, which was long time ago. It was before I even started making videos on whatever. So I've got the maple leaf inner barrel and up unit with a 6.3, I think. And now because of the adapter I cannot take the outer barrel, so I'm just gonna take the inner barrel just to check. So this is the first ever upgrade I ever done. Yeah, it says 0.03, so 6.03 tight bore barrel, up unit, a thing called Ike, the lot. So I've changed all this. There was the first upgrade. The gun shoots now 310 or something like that. So I've got a new outer barrel. I had to buy a new one because, as I mentioned, the one I had cracked. So I got a new outer barrel. Just put this spring back in here. Okay. And then second thing was this trigger, which now look at the pull on that. Before it would have like 6mm travel. Now I've got 2, maybe 3mm travel. So that's very good. I've got the red slide catch and the gold pins, as I mentioned as well, and also this adapter. That's all the modifications / upgrade, because the only thing you can really consider upgrading this is just the trigger, because of the pull on it now. It's a lot shorter. So as you can see there's a wall and goes past the wall straight after. So yeah, all in all, it's coming together really nice. The only reason I started changing these little bits, it's because I've had this gun for maybe 8 years and I just wanted it to look different. That's the only reason I've done it. There you have it, guys. So that's the complete things I've done to this gun. Now you tell me which is the best modification you like in this gun. Performance wise, the thing I like the best is the tight bore barrel, and visually it's this gold trigger. I definitely like that. And again, as I said, this pull is very short, which I do like it a lot. So yeah guys, so this is the end of the video. I really hope you like this one. Like and share. Don't forget to press that subscribe button. It's very important as well. And I know I mentioned that I was gonna do the brake calipers for the next video, but some of the footage was corrupted, the other was rubbish, so I just scrapped that idea altogether. Both calipers are now painted. I still think I need to give one more lick of paint on the second caliper, and then when you see those calipers again, it's when they are ready to go onto the car. So again, press that subscribe button, like, and don't forget to let me know in the comments what you like more in this gun. See you in the next upload.